One of the reasons I really wanted to get this pivot point style of trading advanced collectively, get some other minds and other eyeballs on it, get other perspectives, is to have one automated strategy that I can use in one mode to go pass a prop challenge like really quick. Now, a prop challenge like Take Profit Trader, you got to trade a minimum of 5 days, so there's just no way around it. But some of the other prop companies don't have those type of limitations, or I should say, they don't make you wait X amount of days during the eval process to pass the challenge. But for a prop firm, 5 days is okay. I'd prefer it to be three or less. I think 5 days is excessive for a 150K account. Going for basically, $9,000 on a 150K account. It'd be nice if they'd limit it and just say, hey, if you can get done in 3 days, that's the maximum, or I should say the minimum amount of days, not maximum, minimum amount of days we want you to trade to pass the challenge. So somebody doesn't just like on day one go and go nuts just trying to pass a challenge. Now, some prop firms, they don't care. You could pass it in one day, and that's fine. So one of the mindset is to make sure I can have a trade every day right away at 8:32 with this style of approach. And let me just show you an example that I've been trading with a beta version of the automated. And I do have the pivot point strat packaged in with the indicator bundle that's basically for the pivot point trader, I should say pivot point trading beta group that we have going on right now. Some nice moves in the market today. Some nice swings up and down. So anyhow, let me just show you an example of how I worked a particular TPT account with the mindset of just making a lot really fast and then like coasting the last 2 days. And then, when I go to live mode, then I'll dial it back and do a more conservative approach while I'm building up the initial risk management pad that you have to keep in the account to where you get to the point that anything above you can withdraw, which is 4,500. So on an eval account, actually today was day 4, and I think I'm sitting at 89,890 or something like that. I'm just below the 9,000 mark. One day I traded some pretty heavy size, and when I got up to about 4,400, I shut down the automation, and then I worked a little bit more because they do have a 50%. You can't have any one of your trade days more than 50% of the 9,000, so 4,500. So I was just below it by $10. So everything is good. All I have to do now is trade. Today's already traded. That's done. And then tomorrow, and basically what I'll do when the futures reopen in the evening, I'll finish the account just with a manual trade. Cycle a few trades, make 45 bucks, and then I'm done. And then this will be another account that I passed. But this one, I did it with the pivot point trading approach. So day 1, stepped on the gas pedal. Same with day 2. Day 3, I dialed it back a bit because I was already getting well over 158,000. And then I only have to get to 159. And then today, I think I traded and made, I don't know, 80 bucks or something like that. And I've shut it down for the day. And then when the evening session reopens, I'll make like 45 bucks, and that'll put me at like, 159,030-ish dollars, and I'll shut it down. And that will officially be the 5th day. So then in the morning tomorrow, I'm sorry, not tomorrow morning, but the following morning, I'll have the emails that said, hey, you passed, and here's what you got to do to transition to your pro account. So day 1 came out of the gates going for 4,400, like strong. Got to 4,400, then hand traded a little bit manual, got an extra 90 and then shut it down. Next day, lightened up the position size. And then the third day of trading, so day 1, day 2, day 3 of trading, it was already getting close, so I dialed it way back, be more conservative. That left me at 158,909. I think today I made $80, so I'm at like 158,989. Let me go check. It's right up here. We'll take a look at that. Yeah, it was $80. So I'm at 158,989. So I have $11 to get to 159,000. So when the evening session starts, since now day 4 of trading is officially done, the day 4 results won't get added to the TPT client portal till after clearing. So roughly about 9-ish p.m. US Central Time, I'll see the day 4 results that I made $80, and then I'm sitting at 158,989. In the evening session, I'll trade for like probably $35-40. That'll put me over 159. And I'll have another account then. Because remember, with TPT, you can have reserve accounts in standing that if you ever lose a pro account, you can have some additional accounts that you can just put online right away that are pro accounts. So that's a good thing. And TPT does have the ability to reset pro accounts. It's very expensive. I think it's what is it, 1,400 or 1499 or something like that. I did one once back a long time ago when I had some data feed issues with them. And actually, if I remember, they gave me a credit, and I think they only charged me half, and I turned it right back on. I made damn sure I hit them hard that week to make up for that. So anyhow, but that's the objective here. Have something I can come out of the gates in one mode with a certain position size, go hit prop accounts hard in the eval process to get done quick. And then once the accounts pass, then I can, minimize the position size, trading pretty much the same setup, just, play for like on a 150K account, somewhere between like 700, 900 a day with MNQs, trading, a conservative position sizing. And, we're just scratching the surface between the PPG1 indicator that I built with math to work and look at symmetrical Rankos in a way differently than it would typically look at other candlesticks. And between the various symmetrical Rankos that the group knows about, and we're all playing with different ones, we're probably going to get something scary dialed in here, even probably well before the end of the month. I mean, what I'm doing now and kind of what I've been doing in the past is working, but I thought I bet you I could really take this to an intense level of capability. And so anyhow, the group is getting the pivot point strategy today. They've already got some of the other tools, and I'm giving them some additional indicators. So today, the capability of an expanded group working with the strategy, everybody off in their own directions, doing optimization and forward testing and stuff, we're going to be able to really share some good data together to accelerate getting on some kick-ass settings per instrument, per time frame. And then I'm also opening up a specific community room just for the group so we can collaborate and I can share files and accelerate this information so I can then translate it over and come up with AIQ1 indicator settings from the Algo IQ program. But for somebody that wants to run it on some sort of symmetrical Renko and trade scalp dot trades automated, or maybe even trade the mom signal strategy automated. So yeah, we'll be getting some really good data that can be utilized just for the pivot point trading side of things, which is a standalone program, but take that same information, translate it to the Algo IQ program. And I did mention to the group earlier that I'm going to add a second mode of capability. So our current mom strat for the Algo IQ program, I'm going to have the programmer go in there and add a second mode where we could trade scalp dot trades pivot to pivot to pivot to pivot using the AIQ1 indicator, fully automated, to match up pretty much in sync with what we're doing with the pivot point beta group, and what I'm thinking about evolving this program into, because this is a really sharp, very logical way to trade, in my opinion, for automated stuff. It's good for doing the evals, and then it's really good to dial it back and trade hyper conservative and go for a modest amount. Go get your hits early each day, get out of the market, but trade it across many accounts at many firms through Trade Copier. And I do teach that specifically. There's a very important way you need to structure your master account through the Trade Copier to any live or funded accounts. That has to be done right to align and make sure you're in compliance with most of the rules at these prop firms. So there you have it. If you have any questions, info@gridalgo.com. Just wanted to show how what this doing translates over to, passing a prop account as fast as possible in a safe way. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Great talking to you, and you guys have a great trade day.